And on a separate issue, I'd like to address the announced retirement of U.S. General Mark Milley. Mr. President, on January 17, 1961, 3 days before he was to leave office, President Dwight Eisenhower addressed the American people. His political farewell to the nation surprised a lot of people. They expected him to give an old soldier's speech like Douglas MacArthur. Instead, Eisenhower surprised many by issuing a strong warning about the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He described that complex as a conjunction of immense military establishment and a large arms industry, and we must not fail to comprehend the grave implications of that alliance. His words were a warning to his successors of one of the many dangers they could face in the coming years. The words are often quoted because they were so surprising. I thought of President Eisenhower's warning just last Friday when I heard the parting words of another military leader who has served our nation with wisdom, courage, and unwavering devotion, General Mark Milley, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In his farewell address, General Milley spoke of those in uniform who've died defending our freedoms, of many who have shed blood and sacrificed limbs in that cause, and of broken-hearted Gold Star families who have lost loved ones. And then he said that the United States military exists for one purpose, in his words, to defend democracy. Our military, he said, is unique among the world's militaries. Why? Because in General Milley's powerful words, and I quote him, "We don't take an oath to a country, we don't take an oath to a tribe, to a religion, to a king or queen or tyrant or a dictator, and we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We take an oath," he said, "to the Constitution, to the ideas, ideals, and values of democracy. That," he said, "is our moral North Star." Obviously, General Milley has a sense of history. He realizes that despite the strength of our military, the real strength of America is written in that Constitution, which we've all sworn to uphold. He rose to the occasion time and again, particularly under the former President Donald Trump. I had private conversations with him over the years, and the question I had to ask him was very carefully scripted. I said to him, "If you're given a choice between the Commander-in-Chief and the Constitution, which one prevails?" He said, "That's simple, the Constitution." And that was the North Star he lived by as General of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He served our nation in uniform for 43 years. He was a combat infantryman and a Green Beret. General Milley served 5 years in combat zones, including Iraq and Afghanistan. He knows the meaning of service and sacrifice, and he knows the value of offering your life for this country and its Constitution. He was appointed chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff by former President Trump and continued in the post under President Biden. His 4 years as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff were some of the most tumultuous in recent history. They included many successes. They included helping Ukraine to defend against Russia's illegal invasion and helping to unite NATO. The NATO alliance has never been stronger, and we can thank President Biden and also General Milley and all those in uniform who've made that possible on our side of the Atlantic. We need to make sure that that security alliance is stronger in the years to come to stop war criminals like Vladimir Putin. There were also grave dangers, including an armed insurrection against the government of the United States right here in this chamber under General Milley's watch. I know he measured carefully exactly what response we could bring to the occasion. That insurrection mob was a total surprise to so many. But his greatest test may have been containing the impulses of a former president who didn't understand the role of the military, and I have to offer, I don't think he basically understands the Constitution. A president who reportedly wanted to use troops, American soldiers, to suppress legitimate demonstrations by the public exercises of their right to speech, and who prized loyalty to himself over loyalty to our Constitution. That was the force that General Milley was up against. In recent days, that former president has told his followers that in times past, General Milley's actions would have resulted in execution. Can you imagine he said that? Former President Trump said that of General Milley. Once again, a thinly veiled exhortation to political violence from the former president. As members of this Senate, we take an oath to protect and defend not a party or a president, but the ideals and values of our Constitution. May we all honor that oath with the same dignity, courage, and strength of character as General Milley. And my parting word is gratitude to his family, to to his wife, Holly Ann, to his son, his son, Peter, and daughter, Mary. I thank the family. How many sleepless nights must have been part of that household, wondering if the father and the husband would come home safely. Well, he did, and thank God he did, because he brought America home with him.